has nearly 3,000 velocity. What are you doing over there, fella? I'm using AMT Terminator and I can beam you. Alright, so hello gamers and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be ranking every single AK12 variant in Phantom Forces. There's actually quite a few AK12 variants, so make sure to comment your favorite down below and like and please subscribe. Like, a lot of people haven't subscribed. I know that people say that in like every single channel ever. They're like, ooh, only 7% of people are subscribed to my channel, but please, I need it, I'm poor. Anyways, first off, we have the AK12. Now the AK12, this is a pretty good example of what an AK12 is. An AK12 generally speaking, that's the official Ninja Fortnite. Anyways, every single AK12 except for like 3 have 700 RPM, but they also have a burst which has 1000 RPM but increases recoil by about 15%. Plus increases your RPM to 1000 from 700. Increases recoil by like 40% probably. It isn't super effective, but it is kind of effective in a couple different ways. Wow, Ninja's shooting people through walls. Ninja, what is going on? Please don't tell me that Ninja Fortnite is actually hacking. No, dude, Ninja would never do that. I love Ninja. Thank you, Tyler Ninja. Okay, so the default AK12, 700 RPM, 33 to 22 damage. It's a 4 to 5 hit. Not that great damage, not a great RPM, but it's pretty decent at everything. The velocity is fine, the pen is fine, the ranges are fine. This is an example of a mid gun, but actually, since it's so mid at everything, it's kind of good at the same time, you know? So if you want an overall really great gun, this is good. I'm gonna give it a probably 8 out of 10. And the reason for that is because it's just so good at everything, but I don't really think it's that great in terms of like being a super fun gun or being anything too special. So yeah, 8 out of 10, pretty good. Next up, we have the AK12 Balanced Recoil. That's the actual name, but I like to call it the AK12 Battle Rifle because it's an AK12 that's a battle rifle. So I call it the AK12 BR, AK12 Battle Rifle. This gun has a fire rate of 700 once again, and I really like the hyperburst. However, on this one, the burst only fires 2 rounds at a time, and it only has 20 rounds in a magazine. However, this one does 39 to 25 instead of 33 to 22. So it does way more damage. Again, 3-shot kill body, 2-shot kill head, and it can actually 4-shot kill anywhere at any range. And this is the one where the hyperburst is kind of cracked. Like, it's got recoil, but for some reason with the 2-shot burst, I can like actually perfectly burst this. Like, I can just shoot this gun essentially 1000 RPM. It is sad that the hyperburst does make the recoil a lot worse, but I used to use this gun back when it didn't do that and it still had the hyperburst. They removed it like a year or 2 ago, but then they added back the hyperburst, but then made it have recoil. But before, it used to not have recoil. It was really funny. This gun was like the best battle rifle. Now you could say it's the best, but it's kind of debatable. I'm going to give this gun a 9 out of 10, and the reason for this is because it's super cracked for close range. It's essentially the best battle rifle in the game because it fires super fast, and the recoil is still really good, even with the hyperburst, because AK12 Balanced Recoil is very balanced recoil, I guess. Really fun gun. I really recommend it if you haven't used it before. I will also go over the conversions on this gun really quickly. First off, it's got 7.62 by 39mm, which essentially just gives you a 50-round drum, lower recoil, and it also has a hyperburst for the first 2 shots, kind of like the A94, but it doesn't actually have delay on that burst, which is pretty cool. So you can use it in burst by just clicking really fast, or you can just hold it down and have 700 RPM. It's pretty good. The damage on this one is kind of generic, but you know, it's got 50 rounds. I'm gonna be real, if you kind of want essentially an AK12 with kind of a better burst function and 50 bullets, it's not really that bad. It's not the best gun in the game or anything, but yeah, this is a pretty good conversion. You can use the hyperburst for close range and then go over to the automatic for beaming at long range on the same fire mode. That's kind of cool. But last up, we have a 500 RPM and 714. Wait, I don't know about that. Basically, it's an automatic 50 BMG, essentially. It is the AK12 BR 12.7 conversion. Now, this gun does absolutely abysmal damage at range for some reason. It does 22, but it does 61 to the limbs in close range and can actually 1-shot headshot, which is kind of cool, but like, it's kind of just a weird auto DMR. It's all right. Just use the TCR, to be honest, but if you really can't use a DMR in semi-auto, then this is cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest. It's an all right thing, but like, use AK12 BR probably by default. That just feels the best overall to me, but if you want high damage, go for this, and if you want a big magazine, go for 7.62 by 39. Wow, that guy was under there the entire time. Kind of a good spot, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know you could do that. So next up, we have a couple of Carbine variants of this gun. First off, you have the AKU12, which has 800 RPM and does 35 to 19. It also fires at 800 RPM and does... okay, it does have a burst. Oh, I didn't even realize. But I don't think the burst is a hyper burst. It fires a little bit faster than the default AK-12 and does better close range damage, being able to 3-hit kill. However, it does worse damage at range, and I guess has a little bit more recoil and a little bit less velocity. But I'm gonna be real, I kind of like this more than the AK-12. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. Wait, did I give the AK-12 an 8 out of 10? Either way, this is an 8 out of 10. It doesn't have the hyper burst, which is kind of sad, but it has a hyper burst in the PPK-12 conversion, which is a conversion that gives you really low recoil, 1000 RPM, a 2-shot headshot, and it does give you worse velocity and stuff, but you know, you get 1000 RPM burst, that does more damage. This conversion used to be extremely busted because it used to have a 300 stud min damage range, and then they're like, wait a minute, that's a little bit too much, so they nerfed it like 7 different times, and now it's still really good. It's honestly gonna be one of the best close range performers in the entire game if you're pretty good with it. Purely theoretically speaking, okay? This gun is a Colt SMG that doesn't have recoil and is a 2-shot to the head, so that's pretty cool. However, you gotta hyper burst it, which makes your aim a little bit worse a lot of the time. Hyper bursting makes me not able to like follow or track people as well as just holding down mouse 1, and you have to kind of keep an eye on your bursting, otherwise you won't be able to beam, but it beams, so it's still a really good gun. I'm gonna give this gun a 10 out of 10 because overall, if you're good with it, this gun is absolutely amazing. A little bit more skill than I used to, which is nice. I don't have a problem with that. But for real though, this gun used to just be so busted. PPK-12 was just so incredibly broken. I'm glad that they finally fixed it. It's really good though, you know? Still a great gun. Our next carbine up is the AK12C, which by default does 36 to 20 or something stupid. Don't use that default ammo, man. You gotta use 9x39. Now 9x39, it gives you 38 to 23 damage and a torso multi. So you get basically 4 or 5 extra damage, close range, and kind of in long range as well. You get better hits to kill performance. You get a 4-hit kill torso at any range. You get a faster reload by quite a bit. 9x39, the only downside really is, oh no, you get a 20-round magazine, but you reload this fast. It doesn't really matter at all. The default gun is cool and all, but you gotta use 9x39, man. Like, it's such a good ammo type. Just think about this, all right? If this was the default ammo and there was an extended magazine, right, that made your reload time slower, your damage worse, your freaking velocity worse, your hits to kill worse, removed your torso multi, why would you ever use that extended magazine, right? That is so much downsides for nothing. Does that make more sense? Like, it's just kind of a direct upgrade. I'm not gonna lie, are you still camping? Now, this isn't really the best gun outside of like very close range because the recoil is kind of inconvenient and it's got really good close range damage, but it performs decently well at longer ranges as well, which is cool. I find this to just be a great AK-12 variant, and I'm gonna be real, this one is gonna be a 9 out of 10 because if you want the fast reload, you want the good damage, and you still want 700 RPM, this is great. It does have by default the hyper burst, but like, I don't know, man. I think this is not the hyper burst one. The recoil is just not good. So I guess that is a downside of 9x39 is that you lose your burst, but it's just not necessary. Like, you're getting better 3-hit kill range, better 2-hit kill range, better 4-hit kill range because it's infinite, and basically the same recoil and the same RPM. You just lose your burst. I don't know, man. Let me know if you guys use the AK-12C, and if you do, let me know if you use 9x39 or the default ammo. This gun used to have the 1.8 second reload, and then they went, what if we just removed it and made it have a 2-shot headshot, which is cool, but removed the fast reload. I was like, that's fine, I guess, but I like the fast reload. But then they're like, what if 9x39 gave it the fast reload? I was like, okay, actually, I'm just going to use 9x39 because why wouldn't I? Next up, we have the LMG, known as the RPK12. Now, the RPK12 is a 700 RPM, 1000 RPM burst, blah, 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 blah. However, it has a 45-round magazine, 180 reserve ammo, and crazy pen and velocity. This used to be basically the best gun in the game, and it's not quite as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of it at all, actually. I barely use this gun. It's my least favorite RPK. It's probably my least favorite LMG overall. I don't really like the gun. It's all right. It just feels a little bit weak. I get it. It's a really good gun. It's cool and all, but like, meh. I'm not a huge fan of the AK-12 or the RPK-12. But yeah, this gun does beam. I'm not gonna lie. It has nearly 3,000 velocity. What are you doing over there, fella? I'm using AMT Terminator and I can beam you. I got 161 kills on this gun, which is like pretty much nothing. I've used it my fair share and I just don't really like it that much. But hey, if you guys like it, let me know in the comments, I guess. It just feels a little bit weak in my opinion. The hyperburst was super broken, but like of the hyperburstable guns I liked, it was the PPK12, AK-12BR, that was it. I really just wasn't a huge fan of the RPK. I'm trying to shoot these guys through the wall because I got super armor piercing on this guy. 7.62 increases your recoil by a lot. It gives you a 40-round magazine. It's basically an RPK that does slightly better damage at range. However, it can 3-shot kill to the torso at any range, which is kind of crazy, and it has more RPM than the RPK. That's cool and all, but like I still don't really like the gun. Also, this handling is awful. Wow, it's so slow. You gotta M-slide with this thing, man. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the RPK overall. 7.62 is cool, but nothing has really drawn me in that much with this gun, and also the recoil on this one is just not good. It also doesn't have the burst, which would be really funny because it would have such awful recoil. I don't know. Nobody would actually use it, I think. Yeah, but you know, in close range, the 7.62 conversion, it's gonna do pretty decent, but it's just not gonna be the best gun in the entire video game, but it used to be. Last up, we have a shotgun known as the DBV12. This is not actually a real gun, I don't think, but maybe it is. I know a lot of the AK12 variants in this game are not real, like the AK12BR is not a real gun. However, this is a semi-automatic shotgun. I forgot to rank the last one. The RPK12 is like in freaking, it's probably a 9 out of 10, like it's still really good. DBV12, 250 RPM, pretty good spread, pretty high damage, especially for a semi-auto shotgun, and has 10 bullets. The recoil is also extremely low, and this is just a great 250 RPM semi-auto shotgun that works great with flechette. In fact, I recommend flechette highly on this gun. If you want a gun that can shoot through walls, this is the best gun for flechette because it doesn't reduce your pellets to kill, and it's not the KSG. I don't know why, but I don't really like the KSG with flechette, but I use this with flechette. But yeah, this is a pretty low rank gun. Honestly, one of the better shotguns in the game. It's not like top 5. I feel like the KSG is actually a little bit better overall because KSG's got the 14 rounds. It's got like the better one-hit kill range, but this gun, you know, one hits effectively and longer ranges, of course. You got to use it past 150 studs. Ooh, actually got him. They are actually going to be adding the bolo round, which actually does better damage over range, which is cool. But as you can see, this is a shotgun that is not good for range. However, close range wise, pretty good. DBV12, that's another 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's not the best shotgun in the game. It's not the worst. Anyways, gamers, that is every AK12 variant ranked in Phantom Forces. Let me know which AK12 variant is your favorite, and also whichever AK12 gets the most comments, cool. I just want to see. Comment down below which one is your favorite. I'm gonna guess which one will get the most. I feel like it's gonna be either the DBV12 or the RPK12. Honestly, it might be the DBV. I don't know. It might be the RPK. It might be the AK12. I don't know. But I don't know, but the DBV12, man, that's a good shotgun. Yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.